Am I audible? Or I'm audible and visible? Let me check. Yeah, all fine. Hi guys, my name is Rahul and we are working on our platform that's name is DURA. Let's open it. Let's open project on VS. Yeah, open Postman. Oh, mm, okay. So let's start. Let's first of all, after seeing lots of problems in tomorrow, that's the thing where I'm working. Guys, after seeing the lots of problem was happening in tomorrow class, like there is a problem happening. The more problem was come in the WebSocket part. Ki how the user ID will come like our user ID will be different. Our clerk ID will different. They will like sometimes the clerk ID is fine or sometimes the user ID is there but clerk ID is not there. Due to this, it's create a problem. And in the whole day, I was debugging and solve this problem. And let's start. And I will explain you how we solve it and what was my approach. Guys, first of all, like explain you what I'm thinking. Like this is our clerk login. Zoom in little bit. Now, first of all, I will explain the what are the things that we are doing in the front end side for that our client ID, our clerk ID will added in the database. Now, first of all, First of all, in our front end, what we are doing just like there is a login or just like a sign in or just like a sign up. Just like in the just like in the front end, we have a sign up and sign in and sign up. But what we are doing when the user was logging with Google, then I was making a sync page. I am making a sync page, and what was they doing? Like in the backend, I am making a app dot a post out where they were like just same like a login page. Just like just like you create a user by adding the username, email, password, and this. And here I was making the same, but I changed the little bit their name from login to sync. You can also make it by login, there is no issue, but for convenient of speaking and understanding, we use it sync. And the same, we have a auth middleware, just like match we match the thing that what was happening in real time, then there's a request and response. This is request and response. When the request after they like the same, we make a post request and response where we add the clerk ID in the database, where we make just normally const user equal to wait, just make Prisma dot user dot. First of all, we have checked the user will add it or not. You can also add observed also, and you can also update, or you can also create. But we here observed here. For the observed, first of all, we have to update it. Mm, we have to we are I am observing here, and like if the user already exists, then we can here update it here, like our data equal to just like clerk id. The clerk id will coming from the request dot id, or you can say it's a user dot id. We can add it, and at the end we are in the response dot status 200. No, of 200. Then you can also add the ID, their email and all. That is depend on you. But we can also the main thing I want to add this only. Okay, and we can call this function by use effect. Like we have, like I'm calling this calling this post request by automatically when the user will sign in. Then the user will sign in. Like we make a request, in the request there is a handler, like there is a handler. Just call it by yourself, not so much expensive, and just call it like songs. mm, you can add the songs to user equal to. You can also send by the fetch method. You can also send by the Axios. And if you want to send by Axios, then await Axios. So you can send by fetch, and here is our their routes like sync, and after that we have to define the method. Like what was the method is equal to post, and now here we have to send the data, like in the header. What we are passing in the header, we are passing the like auth headers equal to mm, just like bearer, mm, just like a token. This one we are passing and handling the web, and after that we have a use effect, and in the use effect, mm, after the use effect we are calling this handler function. We are calling this handler function, and like you know, okay, how we get this token. We get this token automatically by the clerk from the last time where we do that, and we can call this function in the layout section. Now I will give you the code where you can understand where is it. Yeah, now when I come in the front end, you will first of all come in the backend. In the backend you will see what was happening, that I am talking to you already. But what we are doing. Like there is a here from here there is a sync automated request and response, and there is a clerk ID that we are getting from the auth middleware. After that, we have making the observed data already there, clerk ID, and updated. If we find it clerk ID, then we can update it, and either we can create like clerk ID, like you if you want to name or email, that's your choice. But the main thing is we have to create a user. Like after the login the in the table, like a user will also created. Like we can also get some other information, but the main thing right now we are adding only clerk ID, and after that everything will respond our status, and in the JSON we have to send to an user. And that's the only thing that we are passing on the back end. And now come to the front end. In the front end I am going like in the component, in this one you will see, with the help of clerk, we have the two things: use user and use auth. And from the use user we get the is sign in if we find it, and you can from the auth you can get the token. This is the same code that we are getting from the getting a token from the previous class. And there is a use effect that I am already. You can also come this code from the outside of the use effect. You can also add there. That's the same thing. Like first of all, in the use effect they were saying it's a function of signing user. Like what was happening there, if user was not signing then return, then the user was signing, then what was happening, first of all we get the token. After a token we send a post request. In the post request the local host, that's our backend URL, and the same, and the method post, and the header utter the program. And then after that we have to call this function, and this thing was happening again and again when the user is signing. That's why we are passing the state, and it's all. Then return nothing, and you have to return nothing. And in the layout section we pass it whenever the thing was going on, we call it user sign same. That's the main thing that I want to explain it. I hope all things are clear, and if you have any doubt you can comment me, and you can also DM me. Now now in the updated backend, I think till now you have all doubts is clear. What is happening? Wait a second. I drink the water. Yeah guys, data second. Yeah, I hope till now is everything is clear. Now come to our and I am also updating some of the things in Prisma. Like in the Prisma, I am only updating the user. Like according to current changes, we can see that right now what are the things in our Prisma was happening. You can see now right now we don't pass anyhow the when we create a user the password. That's why we updated the our schema, and right now only the few things was adding, like there is a id, and their id is by default enter it id, and it's a default uu, it's a default uid. Okay, and there is a clerk id, it's a normally it's a string. Okay, and you can also hit there is a name, it's also a string, and we can add the email. Like these are the things that I am updated right now for doing work of the current structure that I can view. You can see it here. Like before that, after the proceeding tomorrow class, I was doing so much things and added this. Like there's a ID, clerk ID, name, email, and there's a every user's have name or email message of rooms also. Like there's a messages is a message array, and now there's rooms. That's done. Okay, fine. And now I can also migrate it. And now come to most important jargon of today class and today lecture, that जिसने जैसे I'm saying कि that's open my brain, and that feel me so proud कि I learned the web sockets. I hope till now everything is clear कि what are the things going on. Okay, now last things is our web chart. It's so so important. For a WebSocket jargon, I can open it because I am a beginner there. So you can also learn it. What is happening there. I can explain it and do code also, so you can understand pretty well. This this is the so long 100 lines of code that I'm doing and debugging. Like you can also see that before the 5 hour before I was doing work on it and doing debug by on yourself. Now let's see the how the things is going on. Like first of all, what we are doing, we call the web sockets. Then after we are using this like in the whole code. First one, import the WebSockets. Now on WebSockets, new WebSocket, and okay, yes, and now if any error will come, then this will list out. Then if open it, then submit it, then this, then this is a message, and this is pretty obvious. You can see what was happening. That's a normal code that was happening right now. And what we are doing, like here is a WebSocket connection is set up. If any error comes, the error will go there. If we connect the open and we send something, like if we pass this code, you can see that if anyone will connect my host path, like right now my host path is the port is 8080. Now you can see, I think that's a code. Yeah, no, this that that one I was using. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's the code that I'm using. Like there's a port 8080, and when the connection is going on, then if connect is there any problem, then error will come. Then after all, we send the data and this the normal code, that the normal WebSockets and simple WebSocket code. And what was we doing? First of all, like when any connection is happening, like anyone will hit our local host 8080. Is my video coming now? Yeah. Then what was happening? Like we make a also function. What we are doing? Yeah. Like in the web sockets, we pass the request. In the request, what was happening in the request. We get a token that I'm showing you, like in the request. From the request URL we search the token, and after the token, like what was our approach? Our approach is this. That line was run when is bad. Then what was it? Like const token equal to request dot request dot URL. Then from the URL we are searching the splitting, and we are splitting and getting the first index where the token is. Like you can see it. Mm, you know it, like URL, the request or URL, if the request will exist, then we split, and token, then finally one. Then if the token was not, that's obvious logic. If the token was not exist, then we return like if token is not exist, then you can return it, and either you can show error. Then after that, what you are doing, then after, if the token is there, then our work is we have to verify it. Token. So how you verify it? Like you can verify it by const, like you can verify it, just you can show it anything, but like you can say data, and what we call it there, we call it payload. Okay. Mm, mm, the payload, what we are doing with the a token from the, we like we have to verify the token, then we have to verify by token, and with the help of clerk env dot env in the clerk secrets, from where you can get by the env. Okay. If the, if it's verify, like if the payload it's verify, like if payload is true, then what you get, you have to, return, like what we are doing like const clerk id. Our clerk id is payload dot sub, like payload sub, and we have to return clerk id. We have to return clerk id. Yes. Then we, from here we can get the clerk id, like not a normal id, it's get not a user id, it's a clerk id. That's the, after the our token is verified, then what we are doing, like this, like right now we are doing nothing, and for this, like every connection is coming, and after the connection is coming, we verified it, the user will original or not. If the user will original, then we can return the id. The same thing I was doing there, the connection, the token not exist, the payload, and we can return it, and we can make a, like in our code we make, for making our state, in our application, for making our state management, like the same manner that you said, like current, the connection was not exhaust and connection was not crash, then the current users will manage or use state. That's why we make how many users in the current sockets or anything. That's why we make a const room users, like we make a something rooms user, and their type will be, you can suppose anything left like room, what we are calling, it's a room user, no issue, and it's a it's a room user, and what we are passing the array, and here we define it like const not their type is interface. From the interface our user room, no, what was their name room user, no, room user, and here we define the sum of the two jargons. Then what are the things that store the ws, that call is WebSocket, and from where they come from ws, we can get it, we can get the WebSocket from there. And in every room there is some more, like in the room there we can use the user is also there, their type is string, and there is a room id, I think. Am I correct now? Yeah. So the room id, and this is also string. Okay, I think all things are going pretty cool. I was coding there rather than this because we have to store something, no? Yeah, right now you can see we have to manage the states, and we have defined the this, and then what we are doing, then the user will return it. When we are pushing on the our state management, like in the state like room user, you can say it from in the rooms, like you can say it got push, we are pushing the our data. Here we push like ws, and we are pushing the, first of all we are pushing the ws and users and room id and user, like that. Right now the room id will be null, like no room will be connected, and user again pass the user, like that user will come, that will pass it there. Okay. If you want, then I can also, like, if this is the object, this is the room id empty, and this is the user, and or the user will come, it's a user id more beneficiary. So user id, and that's a user id, it's a clerk id, that's more good. Like it's a user id, you can say it's a clerk id, you can say, like you can say also a clerk id. Okay, that's cool. I think that portion is more pretty clear to you, like what we are doing, like when the connection is happening, and after the connection was happening we can check, we can pass the token in the url, and we get the token from the url and verify token. If the token is verified, then from the verified token we get the clear id, and after that we make a state, and we can push the user's information, the room user information in the state. I hope right now is the end out. I hope so. No doubt. Anyone? Check. Okay. And now, what was our next goal? We can also put it at the end and the beginning. No issue. And what I'm doing right now. Okay. Then rather than this is not a shift. Then here's our goal. Now, first of all, what was happening? Then this term is this. There is a data that is sending by the user there. It's a message. The message thing, whatever you send, that come in the data. That come in the data. Whatever you send, the things will come in the data. Then how we solve it? Like first of all, we pass it. We check it the data is in string or not, because at the end we have to we get the data only the JSON pass in the JSON pass. If the like sometimes you pass the data in normally without any quotes and without any string, so we have to convert into a string if they are not a string. If they are on a string, then we can directly change into JSON.pass. Like let's suppose what we are doing. Like we make a normally const equal to pass data. Okay, then what we do, we can check if data, we can check if data dot type equal to string or not, we can pass it. Like type of data is not equal to string, then we can change it. So actually we are type of data, if not equal to string, then what we are doing, we have to convert it. I'm not writing the logic, we can also convert it by to string method. Then if we can also, if in the else condition, what we are doing, we change into json.parser, then parse data is equal to json dot parse and data. That means we have a string, we can pass it directly, no doubt. And then what we are checking, like if post it, like if someone is sending the post data dot, like they were sending the I want to join a room, that type. Where's my, oh, okay. Now the post data dot, we can check like when the user join any room, then they can pass the two information, like type is equal to room, like join and message room ID. Like what we are saying if user want to join a room, then they can send out two things. First of all, type, their type is equal to join, and second thing is room ID, like in which room they want to join. Let's suppose they want to join room number 1, like user want to join this room, then we can pass it here, like pass data dot type equal to join. With this, the what we are doing, if pass data dot type is equal to join, like if the user want to join, and what we are doing, then we get the then we get the from room ID, we get from the pass data. In the pass data we have room ID also, that room ID. Okay, the room ID, we have a room ID and method will join. Then what we are doing, we can push it in the room user, in the then await room user dot push, and in the push method what we are pushing the mm, we are pushing now in the room user, now we are pushing the room ID also. We can also push the same things, and like in the same manner, user room at this, and there's a now the next thing, we have to add the things in our database, and that's your choice, you want to add or not. But if you add, then that will be beneficial for you. The same thing, room ID. Now last thing is user ID is equal to push it, and oh yeah, push it and clarify it. Okay, and now the last thing, we have to update it. Okay, now the same await Prisma dot, where you can update it, you can update in the rooms dot, you can update it, observe, either if the room was not there you can create it, if the room was there you can do update it. Okay, here room ID equal to this room ID. If the room ID already exists, then no need it, and after we have to exist, then no need it, then we have to push it, the whole things that are there, like create, we have to create the ID and rooms and all, and the same we have to exist. Okay, I hope this thing will be clear to you. like created in the created you will add mm, created id and form. Okay, room id and just room name if you want. A room name is equal to normally name of room id. No, that's nothing. You can handle this if anything is any bigger. Yeah, now you can see how long this code is. And now we have one more code. Like if user want to chat, like if you want to chat, then their whole message will distribute the whole server. Then we have to do imply it. I can explain it this client will like if you want to include it's like your send message will come will be back to you, then you can use this like for each and client on set data this like this is before this, but in the current scenario you have to add only if condition, then you have to add up directly. You can see call your chat, then first of all you can find the because chatting the information you can pass the two things just like join. For this you can pass the two things. First thing is like type is equal to like you want to chat, and second thing is you have to content. For your database you have a content. In the content you can send a like a before hi hi pro, that suppose you can send this. Okay, this like here we check it like type is equal to chat, and the room user we can find it the user id will exist or not. If not, the user will not in the room. Then after that we have a room id also. If the room id will not, you can say it like we can test these three conditions like a user id and room id. Then after that we will share it in the complete room, and this is the complete logic. In the same logic room for room user dot for each the like from the client is nothing, is client is just a room that current for each and client. If the client that is open, then we can send it like this open, then we will send it like our whole data is in JSON format. That's why type is equal to chat and data will come in like user id and this, and we can also add it in database like in data, and you can create like clerk id like which user will add and in which room and what was the content. That's a complete logic. You can say if any doubt you can feel free to ask us. Let's see. I hope the whole code is getting home to you. Let's take 1 minute. break, I think. Let's take 1 minute break. Then after start our next. Now let me push it on the GitHub. Before the pushing, I will show you something key how the thing is going good. Okay. Before doing this, I am running on database. I am tables. I will delete these things so that you can see it in the rooms. Also, I want to create it. Yeah, in the user browser. Okay, so you can see that right now no any user, and in our application the server is not it. Now, first of all, we have to go in find out to see right now. So, go at the right now the user table is blank. You can see it when we are signing this. Then yeah, okay. Now right now you can see the user will come. This will be the normal table unique ID. This is the username. We have to change further, or it's a normal email that from that we are setting. But this is a clerk ID, and right now doing nothing. You can say the same thing that is explaining. Yes, what are the things? ID, clerk ID, email, and welcome message. Now yes, enter space. Just it. The control we have to get your token. Okay. Okay. This one. Now you can see when we pass it. Now user will connected, and you can say what are the logs. Like this is a payload. Like what are the things that is coming. The payload, and we are returning like from the backend app. Like these are the things that was coming from the backend when the user is calling. The tokens with the services, you can see it now. These are the things that was happening in the sync, and we have written now system and user. That's why. Now it's time to load the part, and we added our next work is to send the message. Like we have to send type, and type equal to we have join a room. Okay, and this is my room ID. What's my room ID? Okay. 1. Okay, and this one. Okay, now this one. Then so we join room ID, and here remove it, and you can see it join, and you can see it now in the Prisma database. We have to observe it where this identity, and you can create it, and you can see it in the user ID. Okay. Now next thing is we want to pass the chat. Let's type it for the chat, and in the now content equal to if I subscribe. Okay, we have to pass the content because in the message there is a ID content, primary class ID. These are the things. But when we pass it, we will see the I can explain to you why this type of message. You will see now. We have to send ws.send signify type chat, user ID, and this is the message is like that, and you can see it now in there when we will be discuss it. You will find it. My declare ID and user. I hope all things are clear to you. we come to the front end. Now we are designing our front end part and make the complete logic and redesign it something good. In the front end, I design the main of the theme by ourselves and redesign it by the AI. Okay, let's go in the navbar. Let's go. Login. Redesign my navbar for my project DURA. Look, oh, no, that's cool. Okay, what are the things they is adding? Window. Actually, how it's prepared. Really not. There. Yeah. But not so good. I want something good theme. I think. Oh, okay, so, Mm, good. Not bad. Yeah, it's cool, I think. It's pretty cool. But let's make it good. I am doing more work on these pages rather than home page. That's I'm thinking. Mm, I don't want to make this by bold and okay. Yes, working pretty good on this and by ourselves because it saves so many problems. Structure video, center menu, display flags for look forward enough like a small to cut the view to create the browser hide flags. So okay. I want to add mm, buttons. Not look this between Mm, It's a home, it's a class run. It's a change, it's a feeling, but I want to. Let me make it more. How they give it. Mm, That is really good. Let's check how they do it. Mm, check. All that's I think it's not good. Mm, fix it by ourselves. Mm, okay, the nice working for prove it and make. Let me check which AI will be good. Workspace. Let's go. How is it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Finally, I get it. Yo, it's home, DURA. Yeah, it's pretty good. Finally, we fix it. I think you also like it, no? Let me check. Yeah, it's good. Mm, mm, Now I can arrange it by ourselves, but there is some problem. The not coming in the mobile screen. Mm, yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, now Okay. Mm, the component, let's look. Mm, oh, that forget for no. So yeah. Mm, I want some more like that. Mm, Let's solve it, guys. And solving it. Making a good UI is not an easy task.
I want to make only the front end. Yeah, home circuit. It's so important.
after making it.
to close it. Mm,
What is solved? Then let me check in my phone to Outlook. Mm, mm, okay, let's make another section.
Make it.
Okay, now let's do it. So yes, today we have completed our home page, and now for the home page we are using the ChatGPT and all for designing. But for all the pages, I will make the from the scratch and use little bit of AI on. Okay, that's bye. Good night.